How many of you guys have YouTube accounts? I see 3, 4, 5. No Leanne. No from Andrea. Okay. That's
The next question is how many use them?
Yes. Next question. All right.
Bon
Just about
petite.
everybody. How many of you guys are using them to upload your own videos to?
So let me just offer a caveat. I don't have a personal YouTube. I have a company YouTube. Okay.
That's good. We'll take that. That counts.
So everybody uses that same account, Leanne, or does just certain people have access?
I am the webmaster.
There's my answer.
That's right. Control of the universe here.
That's right.
And then how many of you guys actually use YouTube a fair amount looking for videos?
I'm on YouTube every day, but my own is something different.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
What are you doing on YouTube every day, Michael?
Different things, looking at different coaches and some motivational videos. And then, of course, there's something I need to fix around the house.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be uploading a video every week, but I'm about 3 weeks off schedule.
I use pictures. I create videos from our listing photos and upload those to YouTube. They're part of our company channel.
Cool.
How long does it normally take you to do one of those videos, start to finish?
5 seconds.
Well, it sounds like you're using it right then.
So here's what I'm not using YouTube. I set it up in Facebook, and then
That's
I
right.
upload it from Facebook.
And that works. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's one of the easiest ways to do it for sure. And like Laura said, I've been getting more familiar with Canva's video stuff, and it's been fantastic. Okay.
Well, Leanne, do you just use, you create your own video, or do you just use what the professional photographer provides?
I use what the professional photographer provides.
And then just upload it?
Well, so I have the photos saved to my computer, and Facebook will let you put up to 10 pictures on a video, and you can add music to it. They have a, I guess, data bank or music bank of things that you can choose from that don't cost anything. And, you know, you can get a 50-second video with music. And I mean, it really is quick. It doesn't take long at all.
I add music to mine.
It's really, really easy.
Susan, you use the music that's provided by YouTube?
Yes. Actually, I use it with my phone. I'll do a walkthrough video of the house that I'm currently listing. And I will, like any of the creaks that the house might have, I get rid of that sound and just upload the music, which comes with the phone, the free stuff on the phone. And then I upload it to YouTube. And I usually do that during an open house.
All right. I finally got my presentation pulled up. You guys see that okay?
Yep.
All right. So YouTube is just like one of the greatest tools out there right now because first of all, it's its own social media channel. Second of all, Google owns it. So it's also playing into your search engine optimization. Third of all, videos are known for being large files. So instead of hosting videos on your website, you can host them on YouTube and embed them on your website. And that saves you, saves your website some storage space. And then also YouTube recently added a video editor. So YouTube is a very powerful tool for you guys. So like I said, Google owns YouTube. Just about everyone uses YouTube, 3 out of 4 people. you know, what are they using? They're going to view homes, listings, or market info. These are just some of the stats that I pulled. So if you're not using video, you need to be. And I think we beat that horse, you know, a lot. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. With obviously when COVID hit, things changed a bit. So I don't know if you know, like all the people who are searching how to do sourdough starters, as soon as COVID hit, like the amount of bread searches like went through the roof on how can I cook bread at home, doing things at home. So think about what's going on in the world when you're kind of planning your videos and how you can incorporate other things so that you're kind of overlapping into not just real estate, but another aspect of life. So those are just some tips for you. And then if you haven't created your channel, I think I posted a link in the technology Facebook group a couple weeks ago, and it's got a nice video walkthrough of how to create your channel. And then this is just some brief instructions how, and I can share these slides with you. You don't have to worry about writing everything down. I can send them out after the class. So if you haven't created your channel, this is how you do it. But most of you guys have your channel created already, so I'm going to breeze through that one too. All right, let's talk a little bit about keywords, because what are people looking for when they're going to YouTube and searching these things? These are just some different examples of keyword links and a variety of generic, local, and hyperlocal keywords. So you want to make sure whenever you're doing your videos, you're incorporating these in your titles, in your description, and in what you say, because they're matching up with the search terms that people are actually searching for. And this kind of just breaks down into a little bit more detail, the differences between that generic, local, and hyperlocal. And that can kind of define search intent as well, how close someone is to purchasing home. If you're searching how to buy a home versus how to buy a home in Fredericksburg, you can tell that person has kind of narrowed down what they're looking for even more and are more likely to convert because they know what they're looking for. So that just goes to show you that focusing on hyperlocal keywords is going to help you a little bit more than just talking real estate or something like that.
Well, is there some place in YouTube when you're uploading a video or whatever that you add taglines and that sort of thing? Is that what?
Yes, so there will be a blank for the title and there will be a blank for the description. So your title is limited to so many characters, but your description gives you about a paragraph or two, gives you a fair amount of space to work with. And actually, your description might be able to go pretty long now that I think about it, because I think I've seen some description sections that just go and go and go.
So your description is a narrative. It's not just tag words, keywords.
Yes.
It's, okay. It's
Exactly. Exactly. Think of your description as what Google is using to search, you know, what people are searching for. They're checking your description and your title and for those keywords.
kind of like your remarks in the MLS as far as
Exactly. Exactly like that. So
And
I
can
just
I ask
meant-
a question?
Yes.
Just tagging on to what Sandy said. So, you know, one of the areas that many agents find challenging are writing those descriptions. And when Michael was talking earlier, I thought he was going to talk about, I thought the Scripto tool that he was talking about was going to be to help write those descriptions. Does anybody know of an app or tool to help with that? Okay, I've stunned you into silence now. That's not a good thing.
So Google Keyword Planner lets you kind of see how different keywords are being searched, but it doesn't actually help you write it.
Okay.
There are other tools out there too, but Google is probably the number one.
Okay.
And I'll admit, I am not very acquainted with it at all.
That's okay. I've put the
Okay.
question out. Now everybody will start researching it because the question's out there and we'll know something soon.
Yeah. Have any of you guys used Google Keyword Planner? It's that's pretty technical stuff. So, but it's out there.
Okay.
All right. And so going back to the hyperlocal, I don't know if you've ever heard of long tail keywords. So when you get more specific, you're doing long tail keyword searches as opposed to the generic like real estate and things like that. So you always want to use a mix of those keywords whenever you're doing stuff to gain the most traffic. All right, the meat. How do you upload a video into YouTube? So when you go to YouTube, you are going to look for that little symbol right there. I have you guys covering part of my screen. So that camera with the plus sign, when you click on that, it's going to bring up, it's going to ask you to put your file in. So once you select which file you want to upload, your movie file, it's going to bring up this page. So what I have here, oops. Okay, I accidentally shut off the board meeting. Sorry about that, guys. I was using the top one to look. Okay, so here you got the details. This is where you're gonna add your title, your description, and then your thumbnail. So what I normally do, I think I discussed this in our last couple ones, is I take a screenshot of the video of a place where someone doesn't look funky, you know, where they're kind of smiling nicely. And then I'll put a play button over it to kind of entice people to click. And that's what I'll upload here on the thumbnail. It'll also usually pick a couple screenshots from your video. If you're okay with those, you can choose those. Usually they pick them in the worst spots. So your like mouth is all weird and you're looking funky. So I typically try and take my screenshot myself and then upload that. And then also if you're doing a series, you can have a playlist going. And you can add that video to your playlist. For example, we've got the Faces of Far Diversity Committee video series. So that's all 5 videos on one playlist for us. So you'll see that when you first go to upload your video. So the next thing, once you upload your details, you can go to the next tab, and here it's going to ask you if you want to add end screens or cards. So what that'll do is if you're ever watching a video and you see a square for another video pop up, or you see a circle with the channel and it says subscribe, that's what those are. And the cards are during the video and the end screen is at the end of the video. So that's the difference there. And you can adjust how long those display during your video. If you only want them to display for a quick little bit at the end, you can set it up that way. If you want it to display, you know, for a full 2 minutes at the beginning, you can set it up that way. So you have a little bit of flexibility there. And those are pretty easy to add, especially if you have other video content already in YouTube. It is a very good job of you just selecting what you have already or choosing something new.
Hey, Lauren,
Yes.
I know that there's, well, I don't want to say there is, but there are various ways to upload or different things you have to do depending on the length of the video. So what is the length of the video that doesn't require you to do the extra stuff? Does that make sense?
I'm not sure what you're talking about because every time I upload a video, the length doesn't matter on YouTube.
Really? Okay. So
It might be Facebook. Facebook usually sends you a message. Are you sure you want this video? Because if it's not 3 minutes long, it doesn't get as many looks. Facebook will send you a little message like that, but YouTube generally doesn't.
Okay. I haven't had it happen to me, but when my sister Trisha has uploaded, it stops her in her tracks if she tries to load anything that's like 45 minutes. But I haven't had any problem.
I've never had any problems with length because you can have stuff that's hours and hours, full length movies. Like, yeah, that seems bizarre.
Okay. She's not using the company, so she's using her own account. So maybe it's set up a different way that I'm not aware of.
Yeah. I'm not sure about that. I'll have to look more into that. Hi, Tatiana. All right, so Once you get past that screen, you're on the third tab and it's going to ask you about visibility. So this is, for example, there are some times when I need to show people a video without the whole world seeing it just yet. So you can set it as unlisted, and that means anyone with the link can go view it. If you set it to private, nobody but your account can view it. And like I said, and then public is available for the public. And then you can also schedule a date. If you don't want it to be public right off the bat, you can set that up when you're uploading it to premiere, you know, in an hour or a couple days, whichever you would prefer, especially if you're sticking to a schedule. That'll help you with that. And then also, if you ever need to edit any of this stuff, you can easily change it. If you wanted to go from private to unlisted to public, you can swap between those pretty easily. Now, obviously, if you're going from public to private, some people might have seen it on the public side and still have the link. So it may not necessarily be as private. Actually, I might have said that wrong. Unlisted, I think is what I meant there instead of private.
And that link would still work even though the status has changed?
I think if it's unlisted, yes. I think if it's private, it might not.
So this would be a way if I just wanted to kind of test, you know, play with it, I could just send the link to my husband or my daughter or something like that without embarrassing
Exactly.
myself.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
All right, and then also it'll ask you a couple extra questions. You know, do kids appear in the video? I don't know why I asked that, but YouTube has its reasons. I think it asks you another
Okay,
question.
Sandy,
Yeah.
we use the private and unlisted ones a lot. We record many of our weekly business meetings because with the current way of doing hybrid, where we have some people in Zoom, some people in the building, some people not able to attend, and it's not anything we want to share with the general public, we use those features a lot.
And you put out the link, if it's unlisted, you put out the link to your realtors and people.
Correct. I email them the link.
And there's nothing to stop them, not that they would, but if stop a person from sharing that link with someone else, correct?
No, it can't be shared with anybody else.
Oh, okay.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, if it's private, only you and the people you choose. Unlisted, anyone with the video link can watch.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If it's unlisted and you send it to your, you know, first choice people, they could share it with someone outside if they wanted to?
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, we got Laura Rodier. All right, moving on to the next one. Okay, captions and subtitles. So typically YouTube will auto-generate for you if you have the time to wait, which I generally do. You know, it's usually done within 24 hours or so. You know, if it's a short video, it can take a couple hours, a couple minutes even. If it's a longer video, you know, like an hour, sometimes we'll post, you know, our meetings here or hour and a half. We'll just wait till the next day and usually the subtitles are there. So what you do is you go back to your video and you click edit video and you'll see on the left here this bar that says subtitles. And when you click on that, it'll bring up what was auto-generated. So actually I'm gonna stop sharing this presentation and I'm gonna show you what that looks like actually in YouTube, because that's where it gets a little bit more complicated. So let me go back and share my screen. Okay, can you guys see that? So I'm gonna go into my video that I did with Carrie. I apologize, Tatiana. I know you can't see it up there. Is that okay? Okay. Let me minimize you guys. All right, there we go. Okay, so one of the recent videos I uploaded was that RPAC, don't cross it off. So I went to see just my channel videos, but in order to see some of the things I have unlisted, like that RPAC video, I have to click over here and go into your videos. So there's my private video. Now, when I go to edit it, so here's that screen I was showing you. There's that subtitle section on the bottom left. All right, so this was the automated ones that it made. So for example, you can go and look at them and see how they did just by watching the video. Here, let me show you, for example. And it's come a long way. The auto generation works a lot better than it used to. See, it's close, but didn't quite nail our pack. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to edit. I'm gonna go into my subtitles again. I'm gonna do duplicate and edit. And this says this will overwrite your existing English draft, which I definitely wanna do. All right, so you can do it one of two ways. You can sit here and kind of, fix things one at a time. Or if you're prepared and wrote your script in advance, like we did, here is that script. All right, so I just copy and pasted my script from my Word document where I had it written down. So just by pasting that in there and hitting publish, it should fix them, and we can unpublish the old ones, which were modified. Let's see. These are the ones we did. These are the old ones. So we're going to unpublish the old ones. And then we're going to go over to Carrie over here, and we're going to see how they look now. Look at that, guys. You see, it didn't say our, O-U-R-P-A-C-K. That is the wonder of YouTube's captioning.
How does it incorporate or whatever, take into account pauses and ums and you knows and that sort of thing?
Syncing the sound in the video. Mhm.
Yep, it does. It does the syncing all on its own.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
And thanks to, because you can copy and paste your script over what auto generated there, it removes all the ums and ahs from your captions. So even though you're still saying the ums and ahs, it won't be written here for people to read. So that's the next thing actually I want to show you is along those lines also. So when you're uploading to Facebook, it'll ask you if you want to upload a captions file if you're doing a video, right? So the way you can do that is by downloading your captions file from YouTube and using that as your captions file when you upload to Facebook. Now, the one weird thing you have to do when you do that is you have to change the file name of the text file you download from YouTube before you upload it to Facebook. So I'll show that to you guys real quick here too. So for example, if I go back to edit video and go back to that subtitles section. So this is where my subtitles are. So what I'm gonna do is download. And it's given me, okay, so this part is really confusing because even though I'm gonna click a .srt file, it's actually gonna download a .txt file. But the weird thing is that all you have to do is rename it to make it Facebook acceptable. So all you have to do is at the end, change it to en underscore us dot, wasn't done yet. Not done yet. Hold on. en underscore us dot srt, and it has to be capitalized like that. The US does. I think it has something to do with it being an English subtitle and that just being the required file name. So even though it says that, you do have to click yes. And then
I don't see anything.
I don't either.
I
All
just
right.
see a black box.
okay, gotcha.
There we go. That did it.
Okay, so this file, it's gone now because I renamed it. That's what happened. All right, I figured out. Here we go, guys. Okay,
Yeah.
there we go. So the file that I downloaded, it started off named captions.txt, but I'm renaming it to this. And then I can upload this to Facebook as my caption file, and then Facebook will have the correct captions instead of auto-generating like YouTube tries to. So that's my workaround for getting captions into Facebook if you need them there, which a lot of people watch Facebook videos without sound, so captions are a necessity. Does that make sense?
Yes, but is it critical to have the captions on there for ADA?
Yes.
Okay,
If that's something you're worried about, then 100%.
okay. The videos that I currently post are just done to music. So, I mean, all it is a series of pictures with the music.
Mm-hmm.
No reason for captioning on that, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Now, you can do captions for that. I think that's when you get into the live captioning versus closed captioning differences. But for ADA, just make sure that if there's people speaking, you have captions for that. All right, so that's my 30 minutes on YouTube, guys.
Well, that's motivated me to go and play with it a little bit and share it with my family members so far.
Good, yay, that's all I want.
Yep, got to get comfortable with it.
And like I said, I can send this out to you guys so you have the presentation, and it also will have the last 2 Tech Time presentations included too, since I just made it one big presentation. So
Right.
yeah, so I'm excited to see all your videos that you guys are going to produce. If you make one, send me a link and I'll be sure to watch it. A little bit about keywords, because
Okay, I'll give it a try.
all right, do any of you have any more questions, or what? Like, my vision is for you guys to be doing, 1 video a month and pretty comfortable with YouTube by like next year.
This is very helpful though. And seeing it on the screen makes a big difference. If you were to tell me, I'd be struggling to process some of it, but seeing it, you can't beat that.
Yeah, it's not too hard. Like, the hardest thing is putting yourself to a schedule and sticking with it. Say I'm gonna do 1 video a month or something like that. Like, that's the hard part, getting yourself to do it.
Well, here's another technical question. So if I'm doing my video on my phone, but I'm more comfortable doing stuff on my laptop as far as uploading and all that stuff, is that a big hullabaloo as far as, you're probably able to do it right from your phone, but.
Yeah, I'll admit, when I have to transfer large files and stuff, I will use Google Drive or Dropbox. So if you're more comfortable doing all of that from a desktop, I would definitely use a cloud solution to get your video to your desktop, because typically they're too big to email. Just in general. So you definitely get really familiar with cloud storage pretty quickly if you're working with a lot of video. Now, you probably can do the upload from your phone, keep it as unlisted or private, and then turn it to public when you're ready to, next time you log in on your desktop and fill out the rest of the info. You can always do that. You can do like half the process on your phone and then switch to half the process. Because it's really just getting that initial file uploaded is what takes a little bit of time.
And no matter what, my phone will, the format that it records in goes directly to YouTube without any changing in the file format or anything?
You shouldn't have any problems. I mean, if you're using Samsung or Apple, you should be good,
Lauren, I have a question. Have you found, this is sort of the flip side of Sandy's question, what's the best way, because I deal with a lot of pictures, not so much video, but it doesn't take long with the file sizes that even phones, phone cameras create to get a pretty good volume. Have you found a good way to transfer phones for pictures and video from an Android phone to a laptop or a PC? I'm still not.
So my trick is I upload all my photos synced to Google Photos. So they're always wherever I need them on
Okay.
any device. So cloud storage is the easiest way to access and move stuff.
Is that part of Google Drive?
That's what I use because if you need a lot of space, it's pretty cheap. Like 1 terabyte's like $3 a month. But the amount of free is like, I think you get 15 gigs free. I'm at the point where I'm exhausting those gigs, but you
Right.
guys wouldn't reach there for a while, I don't think.
Well, another question is on Google Drive, the thing that says shared with me, things does that count against my storage?
I don't think so,
Yes,
but okay, it might.
It
Yeah.
does.
yes.
I have so much storage that I don't worry about that. But like I said, I think you get 15 gigs free. I don't think you'd be anywhere near hitting that for like years.
No,
You're going to have some time before you have to worry about
no,
that.
no, I disagree.
Thanks. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
hit it all the time on a regular basis.
Yep.
Probably once every 2 months, I'm in cleaning out photos and emails and everything. Right now, I'm at 80% storage on my 15 gigs. I run out on a regular basis.
And you don't pay for any extra, right?
Nope.
It's just the 15.
Yep.
See, for $3 a month, you get an entire terabyte.
But Leanne, you're doing it for the
Yeah.
whole brokerage,
Yeah.
correct?
She's a
Yeah, but
user.
remember, there are attachments and everything on our email, and we have to keep records for 3 years. And so, I mean, yeah,
So,
it's a constant battle for me.
wow. Well, you're a
And if I delete that shared file, I'm not deleting it from the other person who shared it with me.
Correct.
Okay, that's
Correct. And what I've done is, so you're right, a lot, when I'm taking pictures and that kind of thing, some of it is not for me, some of it's for the company. So what I do is I now have a file on my desktop and I copy everything over to that file, or I put it on a flash drive and then I delete it from the drive. You can do the same thing with emails and, all of that kind of thing. There are ways to save them. But it's a constant battle for me.
Yeah. Wow.
For $3 a month, you could have less of a battle.
I like
It might be worth it, Leanne.
On that,
I think First Choice might be able to spring that for you.
the thing that's interesting to me is we use OneDrive at the office, but I've used Google Drive on my own a little bit. And we kind of debated a few years ago which one to go with, and we decided on OneDrive. But for the Google Drive, it's interesting because every now and then I'll run into a screen that'll say, "Hey, would you like to, clear up your running out of data on Google?" And all the solutions they offer, you'd think one of them would be go in and get rid of files you don't want, but they're all directed to buying more space. Just kind of interesting. But I guess you can always go, you delete manually, I guess, Leanne. Is that how you do it?
You're muted.
Sorry, I try to keep myself on mute. I do go in and do it manually because I need to read them before I delete them. I'm very intentional about once a month going in to check to see what is more than 3 years old because I need to get it off as quickly as possible. 80% or 20% free space is the most I've had on my Google account in probably 3 years. Most of the times I run at 99%.
Wow.
And I'll admit, I'm not the most organized of people. So my time to go back and clear through things is very limited. So I just add and add and add and add and add. So if you're like me, the $3 a month will help you for a while. I'll let you guys know when that $3 a month is not working anymore.
Well, it's kind of
But-
like being a hoarder.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
You got a big basement, you're going to fill it up, and at some point you got to do something with it. But,
This is true.
well, I also pay 99 cents a month to Apple, and I don't know what it's for, but you know, it's for some sort of storage, but I don't know where that stuff is, and I don't know, you know, I don't
It's
know.
probably the Apple Cloud, right?
Wow.
I
Well, that
that's like
probably
their
is, but
main-
I don't know. I never go to that cloud to get anything, and I don't know what's there.
Well, here's the thing: if your desktop isn't also an Apple, it's not the most useful for you. That's the issue, right? If you also had that on your, Mac desktop, that would help you out, or laptop, then it would be more convenient. That's why I use Google, because it's basically on everything already.
Oh, okay.
So you may want to quit that 99-cent subscription with Apple if you're not using it.
I know, and put it towards the terabyte. But then I'm worrying about what I'm losing, what's there that I don't even know that's there. If I don't know it's there, maybe I don't care.
Good point. It might be time to go review your backup settings for your photos and things like
Yeah.
that. See where they're all
Yeah.
being saved to.
Hey, Lauren, I have a question,
Yes.
and y'all might want to stone me because it's probably a question you all know the answer to, but my simple mind hasn't grasped it. So if I have an Apple phone, an iPhone. How do I save my photos on my iPhone to my Google account? How do I do that?
Good question.
How does that go?
Apple.
It should be a setting in the app. So if you download Photos, Google Photos,
Oh, I download Google Photos. That makes sense. I haven't done that.
Oh yeah, I have
That's-
Google Photos.
so I can only speak from what I do because I have an Android phone, and I think it's a setting in the app. What photos would you like to sync?
Oh, okay, Google.
Yeah, allow access to all photos.
Okay, well, this makes more sense then, because I'm like, I don't understand how to do that.
And one of the
where else-
reasons I'll tell you guys why I love Google Photos so much is because in a lot of photo apps are doing this a lot better, but you can search like dog and it'll bring up all your photos of dogs. You can search, I was looking for a friend's birthday pic the other day and I typed in man and it brought up all my pictures of men that I knew, so I could find that photo real easily. So it's really nice that it'll let you search by keyword in the things in your photos is really cool.
Okay, so Google Photos, and then I just link that with what?
So it should be in the settings. It should ask, what photos do you want to sync,
Oh, okay.
right?
We'll see how that goes.
Okay.
Yeah, mine's
It should
just-
prompt you all of these questions.
Okay,
naturally, I
okay.
think.
Mine's
And
just
so-
spinning.
Yeah, mine. So then once I do, Google Photos would like to access your photos. Hello. All right, I'm allowing all of that. Okay.
I did allow all photos, and now I've just got a spinning circle because maybe it's looking
It's
at
going to
all.
take some time, especially depending on how many photos you have on your device, for it to sync all of them.
And is it looking at all the photos that everybody has sent as attachments in messages?
If
and-
you saved it to your phone.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, so now that I've synced, which appears to work, Google Photos with all the photos on my phone, which I assume also includes video, correct?
I think so.
So then I go to, on my desktop, I go to what, photos? Let's see what happens.
Photos.google.com.
It's
There they are. They're probably still populating.
Well, you might have to go into.
yeah, they are still populating.
But because I've been emailing the photos to myself if I've taken it and I want to do something, I email it to myself. Oh my gosh.
Now you can adjust your settings to, if you only want the photos to upload while you're on Wi-Fi.
Right,
If you want to
I
get
did get that.
specific about that kind of stuff, I think it prompts you. I don't worry about any of that stuff usually, but if you have limited data or something like that, you may want
Right. Well, I mean, one of my workarounds was to put whatever it was from my phone into Canva
Mhm.
because that's an app right on my phone, and then I can manipulate it on my desktop or just save it on my desktop if that's where I needed it. That just seemed to be an easier way to get it where I needed it to go. But if I can access it through Google Photos, which I didn't even know was a thing until right now.
Yeah,
Because like Instagram, I just can't do it directly from my phone.
Right.
So there was a workaround but I had to email it to myself. It was ridiculous. So, wow. This is awesome, Lauren.
Yay.
Oh, the things we learned from Lauren.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, let me know if I can help with anything else. I love Google. I'm probably the biggest Google fanboy. I, for one, welcome our Google overlord.
That may be a good tech time topic, is all the different Google things. When you go into your Gmail and there's the little dots and all the different Google, whatever they are.
Yeah.
Because a
The
lot
Google
of people probably don't know. Wow, this is life-changing.
So
Yeah, I think so too, Sandy. Like, I always learn stuff in this meeting. I'm glad I popped on today.
So can I ask one more question, Lauren?
Yes.
Will Google Drive integrate with Windows Explorer, or I guess they call it File Explorer now? That would be the ultimate.
Yes, I'm pretty sure you can download the desktop version
Okay.
and access it through there as opposed to accessing through your browser.
Cool. Okay. I'm going to try it and I'll let you know.
Okay. Because it should be similar, like you would Dropbox. You can download Dropbox to your desktop.
Okay.
I think it's very close to that.
Okay. Great.
All right. Well,
Lauren, you don't use Dropbox and Google Drive, do you?
I did, but then I kept using all my space in Dropbox and I couldn't afford the Dropbox rates. So then I switched to Google Drive a couple years ago.
Okay, yeah.
My Dropbox is currently full.
Well, I used to have Dropbox and it keeps telling me something about it's full and it's not syncing anymore. And I'm like, well, I don't really care, but I'm hesitant to delete the Dropbox app from my phone because I'm afraid I might lose something. But
Yeah,
now I think I'm gonna just delete it.
At this point, I think I still have like high school and college projects in there. So
We didn't even have phones when I was in college. So.
But I've got the same thing going on. So yeah, it was time for me to switch.
Okay, now.
But they're both pretty similar in terms of features and how they work. They both feel really similar.
I'd just rather keep it all in the Google family if, I think it's just easier.
Yeah, if you're using that. Makes sense.
Yeah. Makes sense. Okay, well, I got a lot of projects to work on now.
Oh, I know. One more thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, let me know if you guys want to come in and use the studio. It's here for you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Nice to see you, Andrea. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you. Very interesting.
You're welcome. That's all I got. So unless you guys got any more questions, I think that's...
No, good. Thanks, Lauren. Appreciate it. Good to see everybody.
Good to see everyone.